Good evening, everyone. Welcome to David's Kitchen. That's me. David's Kitchen is right here. I've got some cactus in the background. I've got some beautiful images of a glass. It's kind of a bit pleasing to the eye. I've got some organic wheatgrass growing here. Yeah, and I was thinking how nice it would be to just rub my face in the wheatgrass. So, wow, that's soothing. Smells kind of like it has kind of like a peat moss odor to it, you know? Wow, that's relaxing. I'm not sure why I got it, other than it was on sale for $2. You know, when I saw organic wheatgrass on sale for $2. Today we're going to be making chicken cacciatore. Good evening. Hi, welcome. We've got some ingredients. I bought these for $1.29, and I used some of my mushrooms. Can you imagine getting $1.29 for these? That's pretty good. So that's $1.29. I paid 20 cents for this onion. It's pretty cheap. I'm not going to use all this lemon, just a portion of it. I paid 10 cents for that, so we're up to $1.60 so far. I got this for 33 cents. That's $1.99. I went to the dollar store and got these diced California tomatoes and tomato juice. So we're at $2 and another dollar for the diced tomatoes. That's $3. How about that? And then I bought some chicken at, hey, I bought some chicken at, it's called Sunland chicken, but it's like Tyson chicken. And you can get a package, half a package for about $2. So we're at $3, $5, and now add a cucumber, or excuse me, did I say cucumber? I meant zucchini. An organic zucchini I got for $1. So it's $6. And I got a pepper for an Anaheim pepper. So I'm gonna, because peppers can be expensive, I'm gonna add another dollar to this, even though it's not. We can adapt to whatever. Okay, adding Parmesan and garlic. So we're at $7. Hey, how you doing, man? Hey, that's one good way to get banned, Chad. Some of you people are really messed up in the head, mentally ill. I'm sorry that that has to happen in our show, but I've become kind of aware of your mental illness indirectly. I know your mom and dad are kind of concerned about you, but hey, you know, you'll grow into your own body part, whatever it is. Okay, $7 for, I'm going to say 7 people. That's a pretty fair estimate. I forgot to add the spaghetti. Okay, I got this organic, non-GMO. It's actually not organic, it's non-GMO though. They're making non-GMO Barilla is, which is pretty cool, as are all the others. You got to look for the label though. I'm going to add $1 to this, even it out. It's actually cost $1.49, but because remember I gave you a few more dollars. So I'm going to go 8 for 8. I just expanded the titling. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt Chad was Trump. I mean, you'd have to be kind of out of it, 70 years old and still tweeting from the White House during the transition team. They can't take him away. They can't break him away. $8 for 8. That's a little better. David, must feel good to be home tonight instead of a car. Yeah, bacteria, it really does. Last night was a power outage. We had a 10-hour power outage on the island from high winds. We've had high winds for about 3 days now. Okay, as you know, I upload this show late in the evening. You like their sauce, Mad Dog? Barilla makes good sauce. I upload this show around 1 in the morning, or actually 2:15 in the morning. So if you're watching this in archive, you have to wait till 2:15 Pacific time to actually download it. All right, here we go. Let me get this more aligned here. Okay. We're going to start cutting onions. That's our first order of business. I've got water on a low burner back here. It's just steaming, getting ready for the pasta. I did do that. I turned that on about 15 minutes ago. Take off the bottoms first. Peel back the onion. and compost. I like to compost. Even onion skins can go in the compost heap. So $8 for 8 meals, $1 a meal. Everyone gets filled up. Chicken Cacciatore, yeah, fantastico. We're dealing with very simple ingredients. You can make replacements for the zucchini. No, most people wouldn't put a zucchini in chicken Cacciatore or lemon. That's just the kind of hairpin I am. We're going to go ahead and do that. Lemon zest is going to go in this sauce. All right, let's get started. Always keep your hand away from the knife. See how I'm cutting it? Quarter-inch chunks are okay for a spaghetti sauce. And get every little last drop. Okay, we're going to go on a level 3 burner back here. There we go. First thing is going in will be onions and mushrooms and pepper. The green pepper. It's an Anaheim pepper. If you don't know what an Anaheim pepper is, it's shaped like this. Dave needs a cooking wife. No, I like to cook. The whole point of doing this is it's relaxing. Hey, you know, I just spotted a racial slur in the room. Did you see that? This guy, I believe, has been targeted for removal. There you go. Yeah, try to minimize your racial slurs. I know a lot of you are just so orgasmic that your racist leader has become president. But it's no time to really start driving a wedge between the races. You know, I'm an integrationist. That's why I did the blackface video. I needed a drum roll on that one, or a snare. I look sick. Well, you're completely mistaken. What you're looking at is backlighting. It's terrible. Let me show you my real coloring. Many of you don't. We do recipe in the text box on YouTube. Yeah, I lay it out for you. Yeah, the coloring is all off. White balance is the problem. Yeah, I've got a Donald Trump tan. See? Yeah, need I say more? Except I didn't spray it on. I got it in indoors. By remaining indoors, I get a really good tan. Just getting little glimpses of light. Oma, gays are going to hit on a mother figure like you. I'm not calling you a fag hag, okay? Don't get the wrong impression. That would be a horrible thing to call anybody. But they're looking for a mother to say, it's okay to be gay. You like that? Fag hag? Oma, I'm not calling you a fag hag. No, I never said that. But you're laughing. Good. Well, at least you know what the meaning of a fag hag is. That's what the gays are looking for. You're not a fag hag, Oma. All right. So. I use a little olive oil, as in this container, which, as I told you, I paid like $9 for this, $9.95 for this. Burner on the back is at level 3. Put a nice medallion, a couple silver dollars full of olive oil on that plate, on that pan. Yes. Blesseth you. Well, thank you so much. Somebody said, David, you ought to start a Sunday show. I'm thinking of starting a Sunday show and focusing on Christian analysis of Trump. I saw a really, really good, deep study of the Illuminati and how they worship Satan and how they've pulled Trump the Mason in to be their little vocal mouthpiece for our government. And it was really interesting. I mean, from a Christian perspective. I almost should do a Christian show on Sunday. But I'm not pushing religion. And for good reason. There are a lot of people in this room who are not religious. I'm not religious. Okay. Not a no Christian conspiracy channel. Okay, I won't do it then. I'll just play it during the regular show. Yeah. Okay, what to do? Now the next thing about cooking is you have to decide what to do. I'm going to cut this pepper. You notice I have never made a pizza on our show, and I never will. After all the controversy over Pizzagate, I don't even want to eat pizza, frankly. And most pizza is GMO, which kind of concerns me. Sarah's going to get a pre-mixed batter at Trader Joe's, and we're going to try making our own pizza someday. But I don't think I'm going to do it on the show. It's kind of a personal thing. You know, I love pizza, but you'd make fun of the ingredients I put on it, so I don't want to tell you what I'm going to put on the pizza. I get embarrassed when people know what I put on the pizza. Well, not many people put peanut butter on pizzas, you know? Yeah, I don't either. Now, Sarah has a thing about seeds, and if I have a seed in her food, she freaks out. It's like, okay, I don't want those seeds. I don't want those stinking seeds in my dinner. We're getting ready. We're heating up the oil for the sizzle mic, which is a regular feature now on our cooking show. The sizzle mic is incredible, but I didn't do a good one last week. Always make sure you keep your fingers down like this when cutting. Otherwise, your finger gets underneath the knife and then you lose your finger. And these French cut knives are the way to go. They have that smooth curl right there. Oh, it's so great. Okay, let's see if we can get this sizzle cam going. One good way to find out if you've got sizzle is splash a little water in the pan. Still not ready. Okay, you learned from Martha Stewart? Wow. Do you have a personal relationship with Martha Stewart? Are you two dating? Whoa, hey, we got a little problem here from the same person who used the we can tell because he came from the same location. Dude, that VPN is not safe. What are you doing? Don't you know the NSA owns that VPN? Yeah, I can't believe you'd go to that VPN. Okay, you going to put Heinz sauce into the food? Well, you know, I saved a lot of money on sauce. And one of the ways I did it is to take this container right here and open it up. Now, I talked about this last week. Yeah. We're trying not to have any corn syrup in our meal. So always make sure none of this has corn syrup. Most of this is very low in salt. This particular sauce is incredibly low in salt. It's like 20 milligrams of salt in here. So I'm going to put that in just a Pyrex container. Try to get as much out of it as you can. That's good. And then put water in it, filtered water. I have filtered water on tap, so it's pretty good. Oh, that cam's ready to go. Okay, we're ready to go. Here we go. I'm putting the mic right next to the food. Aiming it right at the pan. Here we go. Sizzle cam. There you go. You hear that the gentle hum in the background? That's my spa. It's circulating. I just shocked it with a little extra bromium. Yeah, there we go. Sizzle cam. Nice. Okay. Oh, sorry for the loud noise. Somebody just had their eardrums pop. Okay, mushrooms are pretty safe out of the container, but you know, just to be on the safe side, I like to just rinse them off. So, I know it's kind of ridiculous, but, why not? Considering they're raised in chicken manure. No, I can't. And plus, I'm putting a little water on those, so. Ta-da! Don't you just love pre-cut? Okay, let me cover that up. Let me put a little. Oh, sorry. Let me put a little herb, Italian herb in here. Okay. Give it about, I'd say 10 shakes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right on. Bon appetit! I'm just here with this wonderful person, David Spondheim. It's raw. Bon appetit, everyone. I would love to have a little bit of wine, but I don't have any right now. The legendary Julia Childs. Good evening, everyone. I've been influenced by Julia Childs. I never had any attraction to the Hell's Kitchen show, other than it was really funny watching people get humiliated, and that was funny. But who likes to watch people getting humiliated? It's kind of sick. So I try to engender a kind of a natural slow cooking method here in Dave's kitchen. Everything's kind of slow and easy, kind of like Southern style. You know what I mean? Tomorrow is the first day of the end of America. I know. I can't believe that this guy is still migrating to the presidency after all the Russian involvement and the contamination of the election, and he's still going forward. Polo Cacciatore, I like that name. Chicken El Polo is fantastic. No, I mean it. I'm serious. That was Julia Child. You guys are too young to know who she was. One of the greatest living human beings on earth. Bon appetit! Okay, just throw that in the... And the nice thing about this is you keep having to rinse it out in the can. And eat it. Yummy. It's pretty good. Lycopene, lots of lycopene. Yeah, you can keep mixing it up. You want to get it all. Now we're cooking chicken today, so it's kind of necessary. I'm going to have to kind of hurry along here at the half-hour mark. Isn't it relaxing to cook, You notice how I'm dumping all this in the water? I'm just having a big soup full of paste and water. These cans, the only problem with this whole thing is that the cans are not easy to clean. And you got to make sure you don't, if you're really careful, you don't get hurt, because that's a dangerous edge. See that? That could be used as a weapon. A can like that, that's super dangerous. If you're thinking about tactical survival, I know how to make a weapon out of this thing can, but I'm not going to tell you because it's a secret. Only preppers know. Oh man, that's cooking hard at level 3. I can definitely, it's glazing. I mix the drink. I'm mixing the sauce up with it's called 2 spoons, as opposed to 2 cups. Oh yeah. See what I'm doing? You probably understand what I'm doing, right? It's called making tomato sauce without a microwave. Ta-da! I made tomato sauce. Isn't that amazing? Throw a little more filtered water in there. That's equivalent to 2 cans of tomato sauce right there for 33 cents. That's $1.25 savings. I know billionaires running the United States. Isn't that so absurd? It shows you how inept our country is and how completely fallow or fickle we. Good. how completely fickle the population is. Hey, you were at a taco store and you wanted to get some Jack in the Box taco sauce. You happen to have a package. You want to put that in there. But see this stuff? Don't use that. That's got corn syrup in it. Yeah, don't eat that stuff. That's got genetically modified corn syrup. Okay, now comes a time when all good men come to the aid of their lemon. Here is a lemon, and we're going to zest this guy. So look down upon the board. Watch me pull all the lemon zest off of this little guy, at least half of it. You don't have to even cut into the lemon. Just pull the zest off. You can use the lemon later for something else, like fish. Isn't that wonderful? Pull that lemon down. Pull that zest down. Feel the zest. Okay, now we have a fusion dish going down, so I've got to kind of work fast. I'm going to use the lemon. I can wrap that tightly with plastic and put it back for later. But I've got all this lemon zest on this here, like that, and I'm going to put it right over here in the dish, like that. See that? Make sure you get all the zest. Okay, and then give it a stir. Make sure those things get distributed properly. Nice. Perfect. Now I'm going to prep the chicken. And what I usually do is add, of course, garlic powder to the outside. I've already rinsed this chicken breast. And yes, you can use extra garlic powder. It's not going to hurt you. But I want to do something else. We got a full boil going back here. Look at that. I already put salt in the water. I'm going to go ahead and add the pasta to that. This is a fast pasta. I'm going to wait on the pasta. I'm just going to drop it to low and keep it hot. I'll take it up to full when I'm ready to go. So I'm going to add the pasta a little later. Let's do first things first here. All right, we got a little extra. Thank you. I know, what a joke. I totally agree. Trump as president. Okay, let's take a look here at cutting up the chicken in slivers, because you don't want big chunks of chicken in your food. That's essential. So I'm going to kind of dust the chicken before I start cutting it with about a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And then when you cut it, it kind of distributes into the meat. So I'm going to cut it on a plate, not on a board, into about a ½ inch slices. This is approximately 4 breasts of chicken. But it creates a nice little taste, especially when you're eating with your spaghetti. Okay, good. And again, cut away from you at all times. So garlic and Italian seasoning on there. If you really want to go for it, you could actually put hot sauce on it right now. And that actually creates kind of a unique taste because it enhances the flavor of the chicken. And it creates an aromatic gastrique when you're putting it in your mouth. I just had to use that name, aromatic gastrique. Okay. You know what I like to do is I like to add chili powder. So I'm going to put chili powder in all this chicken instead of hot sauce, because hot sauce has a little too much salt for me. Now the salt in the can of tomatoes that I'm going to open is pretty much, that's about 10 shakes of chili powder. You can also put a little, cayenne in this if you really want, besides. In fact, I'm going to add a little more hot sauce, because I still have my 10-cent hot sauce from last week. I'm going to give it about 3 squirts. 3 squirts of hot sauce. Okay, here we go. I'm going to turn this onto the dish of cooking onions, zucchini, and pepper. And I'm going to invert this right on there. Ready? Ta-da! Da, 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 da. Yes, thank you. Anything with chicken on it. Like in here, I've got some water in here. I'm going to put that right on there. The rest of the seasoning in there. The reason is it adds a little bit of steam. And what I do is I steam fry my food. Now, I've not put the zucchini in yet. See that? That's a quick cook. That's going to take a little extra. I'm going to put that in right before I add the tomato sauce. Okay, we're doing pretty well time-wise. Julia Childs would roll over in her grave, Dave. No, I'm actually incredible. This cooking process is so easy. I'm a trendsetter. I don't know about you, but I've turned cooking into a delightful, simple art form. It's incredible. When I get done here, my God, man, pull yourself together. When I get done here, I will show you the delicacy of a fusion dish like this, chicken cacciatore. I will give you exactly what you want. I will deliver incredible taste. We've got 100 million people watching. I got lemon zest infusing into the chicken breast right now. I've got Italian seasoning combined with basil, oregano, all kinds of fusion dishes combined to make this amazing dish. How's that? Better? 100 million people on UHF, yeah? Welcome to my garden kitchen. All right, here we go. It turns out people want to see an honest guy running for president. It's amazing. They're so tired of Trump. It's been a nightmare. You know, that's not funny, dude. Don't ever joke about terrorism. Please. That's, you know, you can joke about the size of your penis, which is pretty funny. Or you can just, you know, not joke at all. But don't joke about terrorism. Please. Thank you. Okay, we're to cut the zucchini. You know, these zucchinis are only about 8 inches long, you know, so they're pretty easy to fit on a breadboard. Perfect for an accoutrement to this dish. And you want to do a nice tight cut. I rinsed the knife off thoroughly so it's clean. No salmonella on it. What I do is I cut it in quarters for this dish. So go slice like that. And slice like that. Keeping your hand tight. Don't leave your finger out somewhere. You don't want to do that. Okay, we're still at level 3 in the back. And the other burner is sitting on warm, just ready to boil. Okay, I'm going to cut these in basic 1/2-inch squares. 1/4 to 1/2 inch. 3/8 inch. Get your ruler out and measure every single one. If you're really fastidious and are losing your mind, that would be something to do. I'm sure people who are on meth right now would be measuring each one. And cleaning their garden hose too. All right. I don't do meth. I don't live in North Korea either. I understand they do a lot of meth in North Korea. Is that true? Do we have any North Koreans in here? I like the zucchini. And that's an organic zucchini for $1. It's amazing. Okay, let's get ready to throw that zucchini in there. Okay, the steam fry technique involves lifting the cover only a couple times. You're trying to infuse the dish. The number one thing is flip that chicken around. Rotate it. Rotate it into the pan, the bottom of the pan. It's got to be cooked thoroughly, and if it's pink, it can't be. You can't cook. I mean, it's got to be completely white or Caucasian or whatever you want to call it. You can add your zucchini now. Okay. I like to use the knife to scoop off of there. All right, and just go over that like that, or that, and then I would add very little salt to this dish because, frankly, the salt's going to be coming into this. I'm going to take my temperature up to level 6 now. This is where the fusion of all of the herbs makes a big difference. We're going to fast cook this now. David, I'm an industry insider. UHF now has 110 million viewers. I'm just so thankful. Thank you everyone for watching. This is an amazing experience to reach out to so many people around the world that are seeking solutions in America, because America obviously is supposed to be a leader in so many ways. But to have a president who hasn't been very transparent, Barack Obama, claimed he was going to be transparent, but hasn't been transparent, passed the torch to a guy who's the least transparent person you'd ever meet, who hides behind his Twitter messages. I mean, if you talk in Twitter messages and tweets, you basically, limit what you say, and whatever he says on Twitter is so disturbing. You can only imagine what him talking to a camera would be for 5 or 6 hours, like I do every night. I'm blocked in America, I know. I've been blocked for 6 to 8 years. All right, as soon as they found out how good I was, they blocked me. The elite want to control every election, and we're really up against the worst possible people running this government right now. I can't tell you. If you're a Democrat or a Republican and you're still voting, Democrat or Republican, you're basically not helping the problem. Every last bit of that taco sauce, yeah. Okay. Okay, this is going to be a tight dish, so I'm going to phase 2. Whenever I have a spillover, I get this other container. This is my favorite dish of all times. It's a visionware that you can put on a stovetop, on a glass stovetop too. I'm gonna put it over here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna heat this up. I'll put this on level 3. And my thing is at a boil, so I'm ready to put my pasta in. I chose angel hair because it's the thinnest and it cooks the fastest. So I'm going to go ahead and put angel hair in here. I've already pre-salted the water with sea salt. Put the whole thing in. And what I do is grab it like so. And I give it one break right into the container like this. So strong he can break angel hair in half with a single move. Isn't it amazing? His power is beyond belief. The strength to break open. I actually had an uncle on my dad's side. And make sure you mix that around right away. You don't want to let it stick. And get all those little things in there. Keep your temperature at level 6. Take it up to 6. You want to get a roaring boil going. And do this no more than 6 minutes on angel hair. So we're starting at 5:44. That's 5:46. Okay, we'll do this till 5:52. Over on this clock. All right, give it a good, make sure it doesn't stick at the bottom. Okay. All right, we're going to also make sure that this gets moved. So my next move is to add my tomatoes and everything. So as you can see, hello, I'm running out of space. So I'm moving to that other container. So I'm going to turn this off completely in the back. Let's let it sit for a bit as I prepare the other container. Okay, again, I got this entire container of diced California tomatoes, and the answer is no, they are not organic. I got them at the dollar store, made in California. So not everything is, from some other part of the world. Okay, this is ready to go. I'm going to switch over from this container to the other container. Ta-da! Okay. Okay. It is safe to eat, yeah. The chicken is still cooking. It's glazed, it's ready to go. The zucchini's in there. I'm about ready to add a variety of other ingredients, but not too many. You know, I'm a big fresh garlic guy. So I'm going to put fresh garlic in this dish. And I've got a whole quarter of a clove here. I mean a bulb, quarter of a bulb. About 5 or 6 cloves. I'm going to go ahead and prep this garlic by pounding it with the back of the knife. Makes it easier to pull off the skin. Okay. And it crushes the garlic, so when you do chop it, it fuses into the dish rather quickly. All right, I'm going to give that spaghetti another stir. Don't want it to stick. Some people actually put spices in the spaghetti sauce, so that's an option if you want. I think I'll throw a little spice in the spaghetti sauce, in the actually water boiling the capellini, angel hair. Okay. Just kind of infuse a little taste into the actual angel hair. Cool. All right, I'm going to get this garlic ready. It's almost ready. How are we doing on time? 5:49. Perfect. It's amazing how I'm able to do these shows. Will you stop talking about Eric? I mean, the more you talk about him, the more you guys talk about this guy. Who knows who Eric is? No one has any idea. No one has a photo of this person. He's become a virus in the room. Yeah, like a word virus, like a chat virus. That's all people talk about, is this guy. And no one knows who this guy is. Somebody said he's the guy who swatted me, but I don't know. Okay, mincing that up very nicely. And throw that right in the big container of cooking material. Toss that in there. And add your sauces. Just the whole can right in there, like that. Okay. You can add a little water to the base of this. Make the most of it. Make sure you get all that paste out of the base. Put it in there. And see, that's the thing. It has to be filtered water, though. You really shouldn't add tap water to that. In fact, if you're using tap water, you're doing the wrong thing. Okay. Okay, is it 52? It is. Great. Perfect time. Ta-da! Okay, I'm going to give that spaghetti back there just a little bit longer on the stove. Yeah, it turns out I didn't cook it. I didn't turn the burner up high enough, so I'm going to let that cook some more. We've got 100 million people watching at least, you know. And it's been a cooking extravaganza today. I'm going to give this a little spin over here. Look at all that food. Make sure it doesn't stick in the bottom there. Oh, wow. And, you know, I don't want to hit any metal on metal, so I'm using plastic on glass. A lot safer. But it's looking really good. I'm going to cook that for another 15 minutes on the stove. I'm going to prep the spaghetti in here when I close down, and you'll see the cacciatore in the back. I'm going to put a cover on that too. You know, I did this exact same thing last week. I'm going to use this cover for the top of it. This is a simple plate from the 1970s. All right. Yeah. So we're almost set to get my tie on here and get into the other show. 7 minutes to go. All right. No, I don't get wasted, man. I'm an amazing person. I juice it. Basically, I juice a lot. Juice it. Juice it. I was going to actually do a... yeah, I didn't have that burner running file. I'm going to have to let it cook a little longer. I literally, I didn't do it. Well, I did it this morning. I make blueberry and almond milk, a little regular milk, and some protein powder and a banana, and I juice it, and it's fantastic. You are an industry leader, an insider, and you now have 115 million people watching on UHF. Thank you. Thanks for watching, everyone. I know it's 12 minutes, but the reason is I turned the dang flame down in my anticipation that, yeah. I'm sorry about that, but you know, capellini is one of those things that, angel hair is one of those things that doesn't get too starchy if it's cooked too long on a low flame. All right, it was starting with a roaring boil, so it's not that bad. You know, if you're really running out of energy too, you can start with a roaring boil of capellini and put it in there and just cover it up. I'm serious. And in 15 minutes, it'll be done. So if you're out in the wilderness, bring angel hair. Of course, I'm a better cook. Yes, let's do a cook-off. Let me go one-on-one, Donald Trump versus me. See who gets the most done and feeds the most people for less money. I guarantee I'll win. Well, the latest reports, according to a lot of people, are people like our show, and we do the show because we really have a lot of things to talk about that the mainstream media doesn't talk about. The actual show starts in 5 minutes. Yeah. You know, I'm not snacking on anything. I got to make some coffee for the show. So. Yeah. I've been kind of slowed down today. You know, I want to approach this show kind of peacefully. Because one day before the inauguration, it's kind of a stressful. Hello. Okay, the rear's going off, ready to pour it in. Draining the pasta water here. Ta-da. Wow. Okay. Okay. I picked up some Parmesan. So we're going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to put this in this container here. There we go. And I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the bottom so it doesn't stick. You get the idea? Okay. You can oil the top a little bit if you want. And then what I like to do is I like to dust it with Parmesan when it's nice and hot like this. And you can use, you know, more Parmesan later, of course. Okay, everybody, this is the dish. We've got the Parmesan prepped, ready to go. You can serve that separately. And you've got this incredible dish that's cooking away. I'm going to give it a little stir here. Look at that. Beautiful. And you can break up the chicken as much as you want. But that's going to go down to a low simmer now. It's got to a nice boil. You just got to get it to a boil and then put it down on a simmer and let it sit. And the best part about this dish is the longer you let it sit, the better it gets. And that means overnight in the refrigerator. It's chicken cacciatore, $8 for 8 people. Thank you for watching this show. I'll be back in just a few minutes with our regular programming. Yes. Since I'm alone here, I'm just going to go ahead and let you watch a little video for a second while I prep. All right? But thanks.